With great power comes great responsibility, and I want you to just take that in when I'm going to teach you these methods on how to watch anime like a pro. I want you to take in that this isn't watching an anime like a pro isn't just sitting down and watching anime. It's creating an atmosphere, a vibe. So you want to know how to watch anime like a pro, either because you're a beginner in anime or you're looking to elevate your experience. You've come to the right channel because I'm an anime consultant with over 15 years of anime watching experience, with over 600 animes completed, over 11,000 episodes watched with a diploma in film. Anime is my passion, right? And I feel like a lot of these people on YouTube or TikTok these days are watching anime and they have no credentials. They don't have any stripes. Some of them even said they haven't even watched Code Geass. At that point, I cannot take your advice seriously. So take my advice when I say I know how to watch anime, because I've been doing this. I've been in this game. I have my stripes. With that being said, let's get into how to watch anime like a pro. It'd be greatly appreciated if you like, comment, and subscribe and share the video. It would help out me with the algorithm a lot, because as you know, I'm a small channel. I get no views, no comments, no likes, no subscriptions. I get absolutely nothing, and this would just help out, spread the word on how to watch anime like a pro. First things first, we'll have to decide what anime we want to watch, and how we go about this is by looking at the website My Anime List, also known as MAL. On MAL, they have a feature which shows you what the most popular or highly rated anime is. And I start off with the most highly rated anime of the season, then I look at the most popular of the season. The reason for this is because, I'm looking for quality, not just hype. So I'm looking at the more, that sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't do that, or you just don't even know that feature exists on MAL. You're going to want to do this for this current season of anime, or last season, or quite frankly any season within the entirety of anime. You can do that. You can look at whenever anime started becoming seasonal, you can start seeing that. You'll have the option of looking for an anime manually, as there are anime kinks, niches, or preferences that are not always met during the year in which you are watching anime. So if you're looking for a typical type of romance anime per se, but not a lot of romance anime was released that year, you can go back into the machine and try to find what kind of romance anime in particular you're looking for. MAL is still the best when it comes to ranking animes. However, I prefer analysts when actually looking for an anime to watch, as I just find the search engine to be more sophisticated. Then, when you're looking for an anime to watch, the general rule of thumb is to look for an anime that is rated a 7 or above. The reason for this is that anything lower than a 7 is most likely mid or trash. However, I will not discredit anime that is rated a 6, right? As I found tons of anime that are rated a 6 that I extremely love, that I've given an 8, like Tenchi Muyo GXP. I'm going to show that on screen, GXP on screen. It's on MAL. It's rated a 7 now, but when I first watched it, it was like a 6, right? It was rated a 6, so ratings are subject to change. However, if you're going to watch an anime that is rated a 6, you're going to want to do extensive research to make sure this anime fits your criteria for what you want to watch. This means reading the description, looking at the genre. On AniList, you can look at the genre and look at the tags as well, so you're gonna have a deep dive into what kind of anime this is, and just an overall better understanding of what you're gonna get yourself into, so that this 6 rated anime fits your niche and kink or preference better. I only find that this only comes to play when you're a more seasoned veteran anime watcher. Like if you're beginning to anime, like everything is gonna be gold. Everything is gonna be good, especially if you know what you like. Everything is gonna be gold. But once you watch more anime and you want to look for your kink or your niche in anime, what's called a kink. That's my thing. It's going to be harder to find, so that's when you're going to want to use that method. But nonetheless, if you're a beginner, now you know how to look for good 6 rated anime or below. So I'm just dropping some nuggets on you, and you didn't even come to the video for that. That's crazy. The next step is kind of crazy, because I've never talked about this to anybody, or I've never heard this about anybody, so this step is completely unique to me, but that does not denote the effectiveness and legitimacy needed for this step. So you're going to want to create an environment where watching anime will create nostalgia. This is very important. This is very important. I can't stress enough how much this has made or break animes for me. Creating a a good environment into which to watch an anime. This is like drinking wine, right? You can just drink wine, but if you drink wine with some bread, some food, like a European, like you sit on the side of the road, you just drinking, you taking in the air, you just taking in all the atmosphere, all of a sudden eating food becomes a whole different experience. Same with watching anime. Listen, we're going to go into how to create this nostalgic experience. There's two types of ways you can do this. You can create a physical or a mental by going to certain locations or mental spaces when watching anime. For a mental association / anchor point, you will try to set it with something like a date, time, or something that's happening in your life in the moment, whether that be a breakup or a divorce, or maybe something positive like a birthday or a New Year's. For example, I remember watching Death Note for the first time on my computer all throughout New Year's. I was like right in this exact same spot. I was watching Death Note and I was like young. I can remember just binging the episodes because this shit was so gas. Death Note was so gas. Leave a comment if you want me to do a review on Death Note. I would love to just rewatch Death Note, but you have to give me a reason to watch Death Note again, okay? For the next step, we'll break it into two streams, right, that you can possibly go down. The first stream being simpler than the second stream. You'll start watching your anime of choice in any position you want. What am I talking about? Position. Hold up. Pause. What am I talking about? Whether that be sitting up, laying down, or standing up. Congratulations, you're now watching anime like a pro. However, this is not my preferred route. Quite frankly, that is the half-ass route, right? The second stream is my preferred route. So what you're going to want to do is make or order food, and don't start watching the anime while the food is being made or being delivered. Especially if this is your first episode, right, and you've done your research on the anime you want to watch. It's very key to not watch the first episode doing just half-assing it, lackluster. You want to make this food before you watch this anime. Then you're going to watch the anime of your choice on a bigger screen. So what do I mean by that? This means not on your phone. That just means that's not on your phone. But it could mean on your laptop, computer, TV, or even a projector if you have one of those. Once the food has arrived or you finish making it, you're going to want to sit down and eat it with the lights on or off, depending on what's easier for you and what kind of food you're eating, preferably with the lights off. Then once you finish eating, turn off the lights. If you haven't already, sit back and enjoy the immaculate vibes of your anime of choice. Because doesn't hard work feel good? And you feel productive, don't you? Especially when you find such a hidden banger, such a hidden gem of an anime. And that's basically how to watch anime like a pro. Right guys, this video is short, but it's extremely knowledgeable. You learn so much here, right? I want you to leave this a like, comment, share to somebody who wants to elevate their game in anime, to watching anime, or just a beginning anime, right? And just leave in the comments how you've been watching anime lately, and let me know, if this guide is going to change how you watch anime. Hold on, before I go, let's just break it down one more time. Find a good anime on Mal and anime list. Create a nostalgic environment with a mental association anchor point, right, whether that be physical or mental, and then getting food to eat with the anime with the lights off, right? Creating that nostalgic environment, creating this environment. You're gonna associate good food with good anime. Sayonara.